Hello, hello. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about how to use Oracle and Tarot together. So we're going to be talking about tarot cards. We're going to be talking about Oracle cards. We're going to be talking about combining them and performing a reading. So if you're here with me, I can't see how many people are here. I'm going to go ahead and tag everybody in the group. If you're here with me, even if you're watching the replay, let me know. Let me know where you're from and where you're tuning in at. So maybe you're in the YouTube or one of the Facebook groups. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. And I'm just going to tag everybody and we'll go ahead and get started. Fia, how are you? Okay, I think the tech is working. It looks like I'm live where I'm supposed to be live, which is great. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Maida. How's it going? Welcome in. Hi, Fia. Hi, Maggie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this video is going to be all about tarot and oracle and how to use them together. So first, this is actually one of my most requested videos. And so I'm really excited to be doing it. I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with tarot and oracle and how that has kind of come to be for me. I'm doing great, thank you. How are you? By the way, if you haven't shared your permissions with StreamYard yet, all you have to do is click a button that's just above this video, and it will give a permissions to see your face and who you are. Hi, Tiffany. Hello, hello, guys. All right, so a little bit about my experience with tarot and oracle. I actually started reading oracle cards much before tarot. I'd say 5 to 10 years before tarot. Hi, Kim. And I was actually loving oracle cards. In fact, I had started doing oracle card readings, and they were readings that had only oracle cards, and I was really enjoying myself. And then one day I took a training that was put on by Hay House, and it was like how to be an oracle reader or something like that. I was already doing the work, but I thought maybe I could pick up some tips or some tricks, or always learning and growing is really important to me. And so I attended this workshop, which had lots of really great people that I love talking and speaking and training in this workshop. And one of those people was Kyle Gray, who is somebody that I very much respect and have looked up to for a number of years. I actually have several of Kyle Gray's decks. And when he was talking about how to learn how to read Oracle, he said, you should learn tarot at the same time as Oracle. Hi, Chris. And I feel like previous to hearing Kyle Gray, whom I very much respect, say that, I always kind of thought of tarot cards as complicated and mystical and possibly even like a little bit evil. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure about it, them being evil, but like I kind of had this view of tarot cards as like they were mysterious and dark and, you know, not the same as oracle cards. And so I had just kind of steered clear of them until Kyle Gray said, you should learn both of them at the same time. And now I know why he said that, because tarot is such a all-encompassing system that includes so many different parts of life that knowing tarot will actually help expand your oracle readings and depth, give you more depth, even just to straight oracle readings. So I understand why he said that now that I have studied tarot and I've been working with tarot for a while. And so that's kind of how I started when it comes to tarot and oracle. And now I always pull for tarot first, and I add on oracle as a bit of an add-on. The only reason that I would ever do an all oracle reading is if somebody asked me to. Hi, how are you? And nobody has. So I always reach for tarot. Sometimes I add oracle into my readings, usually for one-on-one readings, for private readings, for live readings. I add on some oracle cards. We're going to talk more about that and how I do it. But first, let's talk about the difference between tarot and oracle. So, the first difference is that tarot always has the same cards. So, a 78 card tarot deck always has the same major arcana cards and the same minor arcana cards. It also has the four suits, the cups, the wands, the pentacles, and the swords. So each and every tarot deck is the same, even though they may have a different artwork on them. So let me show you a couple of my tarot decks. Let me know if you can still hear me, guys. last time I tried to share my other camera, I could not. People couldn't hear me. So I'm just going to show you two of my tarot decks. And the cool thing about it is, even though these decks have very different artwork, you will find the same cards inside. So here is the Light Seers Tarot right here. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? I can't tell. All right. And then here is the Tarot of Oneness. So these are two different tarot cards. They both have the same 78. Okay, thank you so much, Yvette. They each have the same 78 cards in them. Sometimes you will find some variations. So for example, this deck, the Tarot of Oneness, has a few extra cards that the author wanted to throw in. So there's 4 additional major arcana cards that aren't present in all the decks. So another place where you might see variations is in the court cards. So for example, you see here, this is the Action of Cups. This is actually the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is represented here in this tarot deck, but it's called the Action of Cups. So sometimes there's some renaming when it comes to the court cards. So every tarot deck is the same. If I looked close enough, I could find this wheel over here. Let's do that real quick. And I think I saw a question, so I will check and see what Kim's question was. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. Let's see if I can find. Here's another one of those non-standard tarot cards called Higher Self. And so what you'll find is there's definitely some theming when it comes to tarot decks. And the theme of 2 different tarot decks may be quite different, but the cards are going to be the same. So you'll have different images. You might have some special cards. That one's present moment. But they're all going to be in there represented in some way. I'm looking for this Wheel of Fortune, but it's not popping out at me, and I don't want to waste a lot of time on it. So let's see. Let's just check these ones that I'd already put down before I decided to look for it. Yeah, it's not jumping out at me quickly, so we're just going to keep moving, guys. I don't want to spend too much time looking for a card. But I think Kim asked, do you pull a single card with tarot readings? I do, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the way I do it isn't necessarily the right way. It's just one way. Okay, so in addition to tarot, we're going to be talking about oracle cards. And so the difference between a tarot card, so like I said, both of these decks have the exact same 78 cards. They represent the exact same energies, even though they may have different theming, even though they may have different images. But an oracle deck doesn't have those cards. So you're not going to find the major arcana cards in most oracle decks. You're not going to find the minor arcana cards. You're not going to find the wands, the swords, and so on and so forth. But they are themed. And so when you look at an oracle deck, each deck has a specific theme. And so the one that I pulled out is the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. So this is all about the water element. So this is going to very much resemble the Cups suit within the tarot, but bring, maybe slightly different perspectives to the cups because it's all about water. And so all of these cards are about water in some way or form. It could be about healing as well, because water is healing, intuition, feelings. This is a very beautiful deck that I really like using, especially when we're diving into things like intuition. I know that the cards are a little bit bigger and they're a little harder to see. But I'll show you the mist. Trust your inner compass and be led from within. How perfect is that for intuition, guys? So that's kind of the difference between tarot and oracle. Oracle is much more of a flexible system that can depict pretty much any energies, whereas tarot has the very specific 78 cards and possibly some additional cards added in. Does anybody have any questions about the difference between the two before we move on? Hi, Laura. Does anybody want me to go deeper into the structure of tarot? Oh no, Samantha, you can always watch the replay back. So happy that you're here. Okay, so I'll quickly go over the structure of tarot. If I go too fast or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So tarot is split into a few different parts. We've got the major arcana. So the major arcana are 22 cards. I'm going to pull out the major arcana here. And the major arcana tells a story. So we start with the Fool in the major arcana, and we have lots of figures that the Fool runs into. This is taking up so much of my space, isn't it? Let's do that. So the Fool runs into all of these people here in the major arcanas, and it shapes the story of the Fool's journey. So he learns something from each and every one of these major arcana figures to pass along and to help him along his journey of whatever he's trying to achieve and whatever risk he's taking. Awesome, thanks, Yvette. Oh, okay, I swiped. Okay, so these are all the major arcana cards. The major arcana cards represent these big life moments and these big lessons along the way. And so the Fool goes on this journey throughout all of these cards, and these are those sort of big moments in his life. Next, we have the minor arcana cards, and they're separated into 4 suits. I kind of like to think of the court cards too as their own separate portion of the tarot deck, but they are technically in the suits as well. So we have the 4 different suits here, and they are all the same in that they go from ace to 10, and then they have the court cards. Something happened with my deck here. Here we go. Maybe something got a little mixed up here. So anyway, we have these 4 suits. We have ace through 10, and then we have the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. So I like to think of the court cards as being separate from the minor arcana. So I kind of teach them in the major arcana, the minor arcana, and the court cards. So I kind of teach these 3 areas of the deck because there's definitely some differentiation there. So when it comes to these minor arcana cards, let's just look at the swords. They also tell a story. These are more smaller situational energies. They talk about the daily life, the daily decisions along the way, the energies that you're running into every day. And they each represent something based off of their suit. So for example, the swords are all about, it's the suit of air. So it's all about thoughts, communication. It's all about growth in thought, strategy as well. So it's very mind driven. The cups are all about feelings and intuition. The wands are all about passion and creation, and the pentacles are about manifestation and those sort of tangible things along the way. Okay, so anybody have any questions about the the structure of the tarot deck. Just a little quick overview. Hi, Cammie. All right, so let's talk about oracle cards a little bit deeper then too. So like I said, an oracle deck has a theme. When somebody is creating an oracle deck, they kind of think about what theme they want to have. And so you can have all sorts of different types of oracle decks. I have decks about healing, decks about love and romance. I have so many here. I have astrology based decks. I have self care based decks, personal power decks, shadow work decks, magical decks. There's so many to choose from. And I think when you're choosing an oracle deck, there's a couple things to think about. First off, what are you trying to achieve yourself? So, for example, my very first deck was Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell, and it's all about shining your light at the world. It's all about creating those things in the world that are going to help others see their light. And I love that deck so much, and I used it all the time, and it helped me look at things in a different way. The thing about both tarot and oracle is they help you reframe thoughts and ideas. And so, for example, if you're wanting to increase your intuition, healing waters would be great. If you are wanting to add more self-care, a self-care deck could be great. So that's one consideration I think of when I think about buying oracle cards. And also, you don't need a ton like I have. You can have just one or none. You don't need a ton. Yeah, oracles tell the story with their theme. Yeah, I love that. I totally agree, Yvette. Um, so the oracle decks are really nice at adding their own little flavor to your reading. And when you're considering what to get when it comes to oracle decks, I think another really important thing to think about is if you are doing readings for others, who's your ideal client? What types of readings are they coming to you for? If you're a tarot reader who's doing tarot readings about chakra work, for example, do you have a really nice chakra oracle deck that you can use alongside your tarot deck? If you're doing shadow work, maybe that's your specialty is you do shadow work. Do you have a nice shadow work deck that you can use with your clients? So you can mix decks, spreads, and themes of your readings and sessions all to curate that very individualized experience for your clients. So, Oracle decks can help you facilitate those specialty readings as well. But either way, whether you're using Oracle or Tarot, I think the magic behind all of it is the ability to take a card and put it towards a situation and think about that situation in different ways. I think about my own personal and spiritual growth. And while there's a lot of things that have helped along the way, Oracle cards have always been there to help me reframe situations, circumstances, answer questions, help me access my intuition deeper. And I think tarot has just been a really beautiful expansion of that. Not only has it deepened the meanings that I have for my oracle cards, but it also brings its own flavor to a reading. And a lot of times it's very poignant. I remember my first tarot reading was a shadow work spread that I did for myself. I was like, whoa, that was accurate. Anybody else? Hi, how's it going? I love my Archangel Michael cards, helping give people uplifting guidance and inspiration. Yeah, I love that. I use my angel guide cards a lot at the beginning of doing readings for pay, and I love angel cards. They're really nice. So Anything about oracle decks before we kind of move on to combining the two? Oh, messages from the fairies oracle. Yeah, feel free to list your favorite oracle deck here, guys. What is your favorite? I think right now my favorite is the Soul Care deck. It's got a little bit of self-care and a little bit of cosmic vibes as well. But yeah, I think that the beauty of them is to add that certain special flair to your readings. And let me know too if you want, to see any of my decks, or if you want sort of recommendations about certain themes or anything like that too. I have a bunch of my oracle decks set aside just in case you guys want me to kind of show them a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to how to use them together. So like I said, using oracle and tarot together is a pretty personalized experience. So my recommendation is to try different things. Kind of like I was talking about, if you're somebody who is charging for tarot readings, or you're moving to the place of charging for tarot readings and you're doing tarot readings for other people, finding a niche, finding what you love and what you're good at, and mixing that and melding that into your readings can make it a very unique and beautiful experience. So one of the things you may want to consider is what type of deck would really resonate with your niche and your client. Mine is Power of Surrender and Kyle Gray's Angel and Ancestors. Yes. I have several Mary Magdalene decks. Yeah. We've got Star Codes Astro. I love astrology decks because I love astrology as well. So a lot of what I've done is astrology spreads and talking about the seasons and talking about astrology and things like that. And so I love that. Okay, so let me talk about how I tend to use oracle cards, and we'll kind of walk through a reading too. So what I usually do is I first pick my two decks. There's a lot of people out there that like curating deck and oracle card combinations. That can be something really fun and a really fun way to play with your decks as well. I think the more that we just kind of have fun with our decks and play with them and get to know them, the better our connections are going to be. And so I think that that's a really fun way to play with your decks. So you may want to find a deck, a tarot and an oracle that look really good together, for example. Testing different decks out with each other to see the sort of vibe that they bring. But basically, what I typically do for a reading, is there anybody that wants a reading? Would you like to be part of a demo reading? Anybody? So the first thing I do personally is I like one oracle card and the rest tarot cards. But like I said, the way to use this is very individual. So if something resonates with you, I invite you to try it and see how it feels. It's got to be somebody who I can see. So I can't see you guys. So if somebody has shared their permissions with StreamYard and they want to be part of the demo reading, let me know. I guess I can just make it up. The problem is like I can't talk back and forth with somebody when I can't tell that it's them, because everybody just kind of looks the same. So, okay, I'll just do an example. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing that I would do, oh, Kim was first. Let me put this back, Kim. All right, Kim, you got it. All right. So, is there anything specific you want to tackle, Kim? Is there anything specific you're reading about? Anything you want me to focus on? So now, depending on what Kim says, I might get out a different deck. Like right now, I have my Healing Waters deck, but if Kim says something that really resonates with one of my other decks, I might just put this away and grab another one. You know what I mean? Nothing specific. Perfect. So let's just grab one of these. So basically, I just used one Oracle card and the rest tarot cards. And I kind of like, especially when somebody has asked for a general like Kim did, like I have no direction to take this reading. So the Oracle card can be a really great way to understand what direction you're going to go. So let's pull this out. I'm gonna put these so that you guys can see them a little bit better. I have a pretty limited space here. I don't know what I could do to make it better, but if anybody has any ideas. Okay, Kim, you got Lady of the Lake. New beginnings, something is about to happen. Let me move this, Kim, so you can see it. So the first thing I think is, Kim is likely about to have something new happen, some sort of new beginning Kim might be working on, bringing something new into the world, maybe some sort of creation, maybe a life change. And so now that I have my Oracle card, I can ask Kim. A lot of times I say something along the lines of, Kim, is there something new coming up for you? This is about a new beginning and something new is about to happen. So this can be a really great way to tap into the context of the reading. I try really hard to make sure that my reading stays in context with the kind of subject. And so this Oracle card can really help me establish a subject for the reading. I like the Healing Waters deck too. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Yeah, and so Kim says there is something new happening. So, Kim, this reading is going to be all about that something new. If you'd like to share it with me, you can. You don't have to. Let's go ahead and set that aside. So now that we've kind of established that Kim knows what this reading is about, it's about this new thing that's about to be happening. So then I'll just start talking each one of these cards over with Kim. And you might have noticed that that was upside down. I personally don't read reversals in the traditional sense. And if you want a little bit more context to that, I did send out an email yesterday all about reversals where I was finally able to really articulate how I tend to read reversals, which is based off of context and intuition. And so, Kim, the first thing I would do is I would talk about each card with Kim. So, the embodiment of cups, Kim, is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is about connection with other people. It's about love. It's about possibly even intuition. We've got these two cards that are very intuitive here. So possibly this could be about connecting with others. And when I think of the kings too, and you notice I really like how in this deck they call it the embodiment, because the kings are all about embodying the lesson of that suit. So this is about embodying your intuition. This is about embodying connection with others, compassion for yourself, compassion for others, Kim. You also got the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is all about, it's even about a lasting legacy. You can notice that there's many hands here and little hands specifically, but the 10 of Pentacles is about building a legacy. It's about having something that you call your own. It's about making your life for yourself. And so we've got these like really beautiful energies coming through for Kim of embodying connection, and we've also got this building of the legacy. So it could be something that is going to help Kim build her legacy and connect with others. And then the moon card comes in, and a lot of times I would actually ask Kim, is there something you're afraid of about this new beginning? The moon is all about darkness. If you think about the moon and the times that the moon is out and you're walking along a street or a path, you might feel a little bit nervous. You don't know what's lurking behind the shadows. Things feel really unclear. So there could be like some unknown here in this for you, Kim. And I think that that really does go along with new beginnings a lot of times. There could be something unknown, something that feels shrouded in darkness and confusing. So usually when I get a card like this, I kind of talk about it, but then I also ask, like, is there anything you're afraid of? Sometimes I'll talk about what the person says, and Kim says, I'm afraid of a big change. Yeah, big changes can be scary because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if this is going to be good for us. We don't know what negative consequences might occur. So they can be quite scary. And so I might, in a private session, kind of talk through that with Kim. I might go even deeper with Kim here about this to really help. A lot of times with fears, one of the things that helps is like, what's the worst case scenario? A lot of times our brain thinks that the worst case scenario is terrible, but when we really stop and think about it, when we get really, really real with it, the worst case scenario usually isn't as bad as we thought. So I might talk about that as well. And then we got the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is all about, um, it's, oh, sorry, the Two of Wands is all about planning. So you might be in this planning phase, Kim, for this new beginnings. This could be what we talked about earlier, right? So the Two of Wands is all about making a plan. So it could be that this sort of fear or worry that's been coming up is because you don't have a concrete plan yet. So possibly one of the things that could be that the this reading could be inviting Kim to is just continue making plans and know that as things feel clearer, you're going to feel a lot more settled and you'll feel less fear. We've got the Six of Cups here, so this could be inviting Kim to look back at the past when it comes to big changes. When has a big change really worked out for you, Kim? Have you ever really regretted this type of a new beginning or a new change? When we take a look at the results of previous decisions that were similar, we can usually find that everything worked out okay and that we learned lessons along the way, no matter what. And then the last card, the Ace of Pentacles, is all about new opportunities and new beginnings. So to me, this feels like a really wonderful reading about this new beginning. I feel like you're being invited to step into this opportunity. It's going to open up a lot for you. We've got the cherry blossoms here for new beginnings as well. I feel like you're being invited to really connect in with yourself, to give yourself self-compassion, self-love. To me, it feels like you need to do the planning, but you're ready to build this legacy for yourself. And so to me, this is like such a beautiful reading. And you notice how all of that was sort of facilitated by this oracle card. Could we have gotten there without the oracle card? Yeah, probably. If I had pulled this card first and I had asked Ken, is there something you're really worrying about? Is there something that's been feeling pretty scary for you? We could have gotten to the same reading without the oracle card. But it's a little bit more difficult when you have only tarot cards to really sort of suss out that beginning point for your reading. So I'm going to give you an example without an oracle card. You can do it, but what's beautiful about the oracle card is it helps give that sort of overarching theme. So let's say I pulled these three cards for somebody else, and I didn't know where to start. If they just said general, then where do I start with that? I think that that's a big question, right? Hi, Monica. Like if I just pulled these three cards out and I didn't have a spread and somebody said general, where do I start? I would probably start with the moon because the moon is about fear. And usually people have one big thing that they've been worried about. I would even say that this thing that they might be worried about is maybe not showing up properly for something. Maybe they don't want to be the spotlight. Maybe they don't want to, they feel scared about showing up in some sort of capacity in their life because of the Six of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. So a lot of times I look for something that could probably only be talking about one part of their life. So the Moon card is a really good card for that. Even if I wanted to go with the Seven of Pentacles, is there something you've been evaluating? Is there something you've been thinking a lot about and weighing the pros and cons and weighing what would be right and what wouldn't be right? Is there something that you've been really seriously evaluating lately? Right. So asking questions based off of whatever card comes up can be really helpful, and deciding which card comes with experience partly, but I think it's all about trying to find something that probably would apply to one area of their life. So for this, I would say, something along the lines of, have you just taken the first step somewhere for some sort of area of your life? Have you just taken this first step for this Three of Wands? It's all about embarking on a journey. So have you just taken a first step? Yes? Okay, that's what this reading is about. You're being invited to have strength, compassion for yourself during this step. Keep taking action. Keep being curious about finding new ways to create the result that you want. The Action of Swords is all about um, uh, moving towards ideas, like having ideas and taking action towards those ideas. So creating strategies and ideas. And so I think that that's the primary way that I use oracle cards, but I've seen lots of readers do a lot of different things. For example, there's one reader who will put out a card for, let's say, earth signs and a card for water signs, right? So these are for the earth signs, these are for the water signs. And so then they might even do a couple tarot cards like this. And then they might do a couple oracle cards like this. So we've got earth on the left and water on the right. I've seen them do this in some of their collective readings. So then they'd say, earth signs, you might be working on your psychic visions. You might be working on your psychic abilities. You may be feeling somewhat stuck. So they might give like some advice around that. And then they might talk about how, we've got the fear here. We've got the shift and the stuckness. So I've seen them like talk about these two together, maybe talk about these. You're being invited to take action on your psychic abilities. You might be feeling stuck. You might be feeling afraid of something. You're ready for a change. Now is the time to step into your psychic abilities and take action. So what they're doing is looking at a multitude of different energies and shaping their messages based on that. And so then they come over to the water signs and kind of do the same thing. So even though my method, so I'm kind of telling you this, so like even though my method is one oracle card and the rest tarot, doesn't mean that that's going to feel right for you. You may really resonate with something very, very different. Like one of our members of the Tarot Practice Academy does chakra work with her tarot clients, and she has tarot cards for the chakras, and she also has chakra spreads that she's created. So there's lots of different ways that you can use cards in order to facilitate a beautiful experience for yourself or for others. I did a lot of talking, so now I'm going to check in with the comments, guys. Oh, you're so welcome, Kim. Thank you so much for volunteering. I appreciate it. There's a lag between comments being sent and you seeing them. I just wasn't looking. I think I was too busy explaining. Thanks, Joanne. Is there like a 2-minute lag right now between everything? It looks okay on my Facebook. Looks okay. I'm pretty sure we're good. I think I was just caught up and not looking. Yeah, I love the chakra reading idea. It's really nice as I do Reiki. Yes, exactly. yeah, adding in Reiki to your tarot readings, adding in tarot to your Reiki support. The sky is the limit when it comes to showing up authentically in your offerings in your business and thinking about ways that you can really set yourself apart. Yeah, I think it's good. Thanks, guys. I think that oracle cards could be a really beautiful part of that. And what I found is oracle cards really help me shape my readings in terms, especially when I don't have a spread and I'm doing a general reading for somebody. That's the time that they really seem to bring a lot to my readings. And so, yeah, like just kind of coming back to this idea that the way I use oracle cards can be so different from the way that you do. I think the importance of using your intuition to help you decide your method of doing a reading, the way you lay out the cards, the way you shuffle, the way you read. So a really good example of this is I read in a way that tends to honor the coaching method that I was taught in coaching school. So I was taught a specific coaching method that helps people get the green light in their limbic system so that they can move forward and make changes without fear. And so when I'm creating a spread or when I'm doing a reading, I'm always thinking about that method and I'm shaping those questions in the form of that method. So I bring that to my readings, I bring that to my spreads. It feels really good and natural for me because I'm leading somebody on like a sort of journey with it. And that just kind of came naturally because of my coaching and my coaching training. You're going to have completely different experiences that inform you and your intuition in terms of what's going to be best for you when it comes to doing your own readings or offering readings for another. So I think that intuition can help you shape and help you decide what feels really great and wonderful for you in your readings. And I think another thing that is really powerful is journaling your readings. So, whether it's tarot or oracle or a combination of both, journaling on your readings can be really powerful. So, whether you're using one of the tools in the High Priestess Tarot School for that, or you're just taking a journal and you're journaling about all the insights that you got, maybe you're listing the cards that you got, your questions, the cards, your insights, whether you're using one of the forms that I've provided in the High Priestess Tarot School or you're just using a regular piece of paper, I think it's really powerful to record your readings. When I do my readings on YouTube, sometimes I end saying Reiki energy too. I love that. That's amazing. Do you ever find you get occasional reading where you get absolutely nothing for the person? What do you do? I connect in with the person. I don't feel like I ever get nothing, but at the same time, I think, and I don't know who asked that question, but I feel like I do a lot of checking in and back and forth. So if somebody is saying that something's not resonating, I provide many multiple different interpretations. So I keep expanding the interpretation till it sticks. But I'm constantly sort of checking in and leading my client on a bit of a journey with my readings. I really like to contextualize every single card for them so that at the end I can do the little wrap up. Did you notice with Kim, I took all the cards and I kind of repeated them all and did a bit of a wrap up for Kim? So I was listening to what Kim said along the way and I was paying attention to the sort of back and forth. So even though we weren't face to face, like in a Zoom call, like a lot of my readings are, I was still getting plenty of feedback from Kim so that I could contextualize each and every one of the cards for Kim and then give that summary at the end. I think the summary at the end will tell you whether or not you've connected with your client or not. So if you can't summarize how each card resonates for your client at the end of a session, you haven't done enough checking back and forth with your client. Hi, Storm. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, any questions, guys? I would love to hear like what you're taking away from today. Do you have any plans on combining tarot and oracle? Are you currently combining tarot and oracle? And also, I just want to open up the floor to any questions anybody might have. Oh, you're so welcome, Joanne. Yes, Cami, 100%. I am always checking in with my clients. I feel like for a lot of us, we feel like we're under this sort of pressure to perform. That never felt good for me. By the way, maybe for some of you it does, and if so, maybe you wouldn't want to use my technique or system. But feeling like I was putting on a performance always has felt pretty yucky for me. And I combine a lot of my coaching in with my tarot readings. So I ask a lot of questions because I don't want to tell you what's going on with you when I'm doing a reading for you. I want you to tell me what's going on with you. I want you to be able to talk. I want you to be able to have an open floor where you can discuss what's happening for you. And I want you to be connecting with your intuition when I read for you. I want to facilitate you getting those intuitive insights for yourself. You use both, you usually do oracle at the end. Yeah, I love that. Especially if you have like a really heavy reading, a huge thing that can help is finishing with like an angel card. Finishing with a nice, happy, fluffy card at the end to lighten up the energy a little bit so that your client doesn't leave feeling like a ton of bricks has hit them, right? So um, deeper readings that I have, I will absolutely end with an oracle card. You're so welcome. It's a service, but also a conversation. Yeah, I love that. I think of it too more of an experience even than a service. Is it easier to do past, present, future? Yeah, I like past, present, future. Oh, and I was going to talk about this too. So, also, in addition to me kind of utilizing my coaching background, I think of a really easy 3 card spread for me is where they're at currently, what they need to let go of, what they need to step into. By the way, this is part of the coaching technique that I was taught. So, where are they? A little bit of like self awareness for their current moment, what they need to let go of to manifest their desires, and what they need to step into to manifest their desires. And so that's a really easy 3 card spread that I use for full moon readings. I use it all the time for easy 3 card readings that are just like they just roll off the tongue. They're so easy. I don't even have to put any energy into them because they're so easy. So if you feel the same with past, present, future, yes, I tend to read potential instead of future personally, but I don't do future readings either. I tried using the Celtic cross layout using Oracle. It was very powerful. Yeah, the Celtic cross is great. It's a little bit of a lot for new people or new tarot cards readers because it's got the 10 cards, so it can kind of feel like a lot, but it's a really powerful reading. I would like to learn about angel cards and numbers. I've never used them. Awesome. So there's lots of different angel cards. I have 2. I have both of them are written by Kyle Gray. And the thing of it is while you're using your angel cards, you can start to learn about the angels. In addition to that, Kyle Gray has a book about angels as well. I have it on the floor, but I don't remember what it's called. So you could read books about angels. You could get angel cards. Um, there's if you want a little summary on angel numbers, I can post it in the Facebook group. But angel numbers are cool. I don't go so deep into numerology numerology, but I do know, some basic angel numbers. And you can always Google it too, right? Like even if you have like 6464, you can Google what is angel number 6464 and you'll get some answers, which is pretty cool too. Okay, I'll do that. I'll make a post. I think you're in the Learn Tarot group, right? I'll make a post and I'll put it in there all about uh, angel numbers. But yeah, I think that angels are a really fun thing to learn about. I took Kyle Gray's angel course. Just for future reference on your lives, what do I need to do so you can see my profile? So in the description of this video, right above this video here in the Facebook group, you're going to see a link at the bottom. So I put a bunch of stuff at the top there. There's a bunch of typing. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that typing, you'll find a link. I'm going to show you. Let's see here. I'll share my screen with you. And all you have to do is click on it. It's actually like a 2-click thing, so it's actually very, very easy. Did you find it? You're so welcome. Okay, so see here on the video, right here, the StreamYard.com, you click this button. I think you need to click one more time, and you'll be good to go. Any other questions, guys? It can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about Oracle cards. I will be doing the Q&A on Thursday in the High Priestess Tarot School group as well. Oh, was that you, Yvette? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, Joanne, for putting your name on there. It's awesome that I can see who that is. Any other questions before we wrap up, guys? Yeah, there is a class tonight, Maida. There's a Tarot Practice Academy class at 8 p.m. your time. You're so welcome, guys. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for sharing in the Oracle Tarot funness with me. All righty, since there's no questions, I'm going to go. Thanks for being here, and I will see you soon.